great.
Yeah, and then we have a couple more. You can tell me what you think of these. These are going to be coming out too. So what do you think of these ones? We were thinking...
Son of a bitch.
Come on, Mark, tell me what you think.
Oh my God, I was like, oh, this is real. Oh my God.
Aren't they beautiful?
Holy smokes. You son of a bitch.
See, I wanted that.
You got it on camera.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. We put a
my
lot into
God.
that project, and we loved the way they came out. They're not ready yet. These are, you know, your pre-production samples.
Oh,
There
wow.
are things that we caught that need to be improved. But what do you think of that construction?
Oh my God. That's awesome. Yeah, let me take one at a time now. Now you got me on camera. Let me turn the camera off now.
Yeah, there you go. Good enough.
And that, what you saw right there, was my honest to goodness, unadulterated, unedited, unscripted reaction to the Amerigraph Bethpage. That video was shot January of 2022 when I was out there filming my video for the AmeriQuartz diver. So that was filmed at Fine Timepiece Solutions in Fountain Hills, Arizona, the place that assembles the AmeriQuartz Islanders, the ISL 100, the 101. They also did the 75 through the 78, those field watches. And now they're doing the 200, 201, and 202. The watches you're going to see today, Islander Bethpage Amerigraph. It is an assembled in the USA chronograph with an assembled in the USA chronograph movement. A gold-plated movement that you can view through the caseback of the watch, a 5-jewel movement. It's awesome. Everything about the watch is fantastic. As you can see from my reaction, we had just finished interviewing, and Kunal was just showing me some other stuff they were working on, and then he just casually hands me the pre-production sample of the Bethpage, and I wasn't expecting it because simply he had told me like a week or two before there was a delay and I wouldn't be able to see it when I came out there. I was a little bummed, but it was an awesome surprise. So that's it. So for today's video, we are checking out the new Islander Bethpage Amerigraph. Amerigraph is my trademark term for an American assembled chronograph. It's pretty cute. I got 3 varieties to show you, brushed silver, brushed black, and a full loom PVD IP version. They're all awesome. I think you're really gonna dig them. They take inspiration from spaceflight, Bethpage being where Grumman is located on Long Island, the place that built the Lunar Landing Module, the only craft to actually land humans on the moon, the LEM. There's one on display at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Super cool stuff. That's all I want to say. Let's check out these watches. So here we go. I present to you the Islander Bethpage Amerigraph. 3 varieties, 2 in steel, 1 in PVD. We have a silver dial, a brushed silver, a brushed black, and then the PVD guy is done, or IP guy is done in a full loom variety. All awesome, the same case size, specs, movement, etc., just differing in their colorways, but they are simply awesome. I will start with the silver that's right in front of me. So all these are going to be model number ISL 200, 201, and 202. So let's just get right into business here. We're looking at 40 millimeters in diameter. Beautiful case. See the lovely case finishing. Look at the angles, facets, polishing, the pushers, the logoed crown, of course. Look at that. It's so nice. So it's 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 13 and a half thick to a domed sapphire crystal. You can see the dome there when I rotate it. It's got AR on the underside. And we are looking at 47 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip. The case back is exhibition to see the awesome gold-plated AmeriQuartz movement. It is a C7201 movement, and it is a 5-jewel movement. So it is a 5-jewel serviceable American assembled movement. So these watches are all assembled at Fine Timepiece Solutions in Fountain Hills, Arizona. same as the AmeriQuartz divers that were released earlier this year and the field watches that were released last year. It is a 20 millimeter lug on the bracelet end. It is solid link. It is, of course, a solid end link. It is sized with screws. It does taper to 18 millimeters at the clasp. It is a flip lock deploying clasp with your standard 3-position of micro adjust. It is a milled scissor clasp. Okay, you can see that there. And you will notice that in lieu of branding the clasp, I instead opted for an etching of the Lunar Landing Module that was built by Grumman in Bethpage on Long Island for the space program. Again, the only craft to ever land humans on the moon. Although it looks like we're going back, right? Looks like there's good stuff happening. Beautiful bracelet, silky smooth, lovely lines to it. The curve of the links it's really, really nice. Integration to the case, gorgeous. So let's come in on that dial. So this is the brushed silver dial variant. You will notice that it is a running center seconds. So the chronograph is actually the 2 needles at the 6 and at the 9. So when you activate the chrono, which I'll do in a second, the 6 o'clock register will start. So your elapsed seconds and minutes are on the left, on the bottom and on the left. We'll get into this subdial in a second. Let's see, what else I want to say about it. So this is Amerigraph, as you can see from the stylized text at the top. And so Amerigraph is in red, as is the seconds and minutes and the hands that are associated with them to kind of let you know, hey, this is all part of the chronograph. Surrounding it, since it's not a center seconds chrono, it's a running center seconds chrono, I opted to not do the standard tachometer bezel. I opted for military time. It is a non-rotating bezel, but it is ceramic and lumed. So in keeping with that whole military space theme, I figured why not go with military time. So to activate the chrono, you will press the top button and the bottom register will start to advance, and then after 1 minute, the elapsed minutes at the 9, I'll keep it running. The elapsed minutes at the 9 will move, and it is a 60-minute chronograph, so you can time things up to 60 minutes. Let's get over to this register while the chrono is running. So it's a 24-hour register, which, yeah, I'm not a big fan of at all. Obviously, I didn't have a choice here. I had to do whatever they had. But I changed the orientation and I changed the coloring of it, such that your conventional 24-hour subdials have 24 at the top and it's just a circle. What I went for here was noon at the top. So the 12 is at the top, night, 24 is at the bottom. And then I colored them, through the hemisphere. So the top is daylight, the bottom is nighttime. Again, you know when it's night and when it's day. Obviously, this is not going to help you figure that out, but it just makes it a little more functional. You can see we're coming up on 1 minute, and it is a sliding minutes counter. The minutes has already kind of gotten to the 1 position. Oh, it's over 1, I'm sorry. So 1 minute has already elapsed. So when we want to stop it, we will stop it. So you see the bottom, I got away from myself. I was talking too much. The bottom will stop, and then I'll reset it. And there you go. The hands go back to their zeroed positions. Speaking of hands, the regular 12-hour hands are silver. We have applied indices, the silver applied indices with C3 Super Luminova, as well as on the hands, as well as on the circle at the end of the seconds hand. So rounding the dial on the chapter ring is done in black. And it's done with the red hash marks, again, keeping with just a tiny little splash of color. Price, and then we'll get into the other ones, I promise you. $349 in steel, $399. I'm pointing to the PVD one like you can see it. $399 in PVD. So this is the brushed silver dial. Okay, so here is the black dial. The black dial is very similar. It's all the same case, all the same specs, see-through caseback with that awesome 5-jewel quartz movement. USA assembled quartz movement. I can't say that enough. Serviceable. It's got screws. There's no plastic that you can see. It is a real accurate quartz movement. So we have a brushed black dial. I'll rotate it a little bit, and definitely at this point I've weaved in some B-roll so you can kind of see a little more dial detail other than just in the studio. Silver hands, but now we've gone with a brushed black dial and kind of silver subdials for the chrono. Same top bottom on the 24-hour scale. And on the outside I've gone with a white chapter ring with red hash marks to give it, again, that pop, just like you saw before. But here the red pops a little more since it's on a white background as opposed to being on a black background. But so this is kind of, I guess, this really isn't a panda. It's pretty close because it's silver. I'll tell you, when we went through the design phase, and this has been, obviously, as you can tell from the opening in design for a while, we went through the design phase, I really wanted to do white, and then I was like, you know what? Silver is just fancy. It adds a certain, I don't know, je ne sais quoi, if you will, to use the French that I don't know any of. The silver just looked really nice. So this would kind of be your panda if you wanted one, and I guess this is kind of like a reverse panda. I don't know. I'm not really up on my animals. Beautiful bracelet again, logoed crown. Let's look at the case back real quick. There you go. Worth mentioning that these have all been sized from my wrist, the three that you're seeing. So you'll see when I try them on. I've removed 4 links from each of them. So I'm going to say they're going to fit up to about a 7 3/4 to 8 inch wrist. Extra links available if you need. Around the periphery of the case back, we have written, I'm going to read off the watch. Amerigraph, sapphire, 100 meters, Ameriquartz. Has the caliber of the movement, 7C01. And it's got the battery type. So even though you could see the battery, I still like putting the battery type on the outside. Is the SR920SW or a 371. USA assembly, and then the word Islander. Whoops, Islander. And then if you can see it over here, we have a teeny wee American flag. Really cool. Again, you can probably tell I'm really excited the way these turned out. I'm not a big chronograph fan. I do not own many of them, but I've been wearing these. We got those pre-production samples back in January, and Ryan and myself have been wearing them pretty much on and off the entire time. Right when we got them, we wore them for like a month straight. So really cool. Looks nice. The last one I want to show you is make sure, oh, I didn't go over the weight. Did I tell you the weight? I did not. 163 grams for all of them. Here's the last one. I want to back up the time a bit to kind of center the hands because I've been yapping. So full BGW9 dial, and again with the ceramic insert done in this one. Those were C3. This guy BGW9 as well. Black hands. This thing, wait till you see the lights go on, especially the lumed hand. I don't know if I said it before, but you can see on this subdial here, USA movement is written in the black. And get a Amerigraph at the top. Just a lot of good stuff happening here. But the bracelet, everything's done again, full IP black. Obviously the case back, we keep steel because it's a major rub point. But here's the bracelet. Everything looks fantastic. It's got the, I don't know if you see it in the black here. It's got the etching of the Lunar Lander as well. Trying to get it in the light. Has the same surface finish as the other one, so you got a brushed bracelet, and then brushed and polished case. Will come up nice and tight on the dial. Oh man, let's start the chrono. See that run, stop the chrono, and that's all she wrote. So again, this guy was $3.99. The steel guys or gals are $3.49. Since they're already sized for me, and I was wearing them in the entry or open, let's pop them on. Here you go, 6 3/4 inch wrist, 40 millimeters diameter, just 47 on the lug-to-lug dimension. Looks awesome, feels great, great balance, great thickness. Everything about this watch, like I said, very, very cozy, comfy, designed well. Dial is executed beautifully, if I don't mind saying so myself. Of course, I have a major vested interest in this whole thing, but I am just, as you can tell, I'm really happy with the way they turned out. And again, they're all here, so I'm gonna pop all 3 on. Maybe it takes a little extra time in the video, but I think it's worth it. I like the black too, but I'm actually surprised by how much I like the silver, because the silver is really gets me. But the black's nice. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to deter you from buying the one you like, but I think I have my favorite. This one's amazing. The full PVD IP black with that BGW9 dial. It glows like insanity. And there you go. I was not kidding at all. Amazing luminescence on it. Just glows. Look at that. Look at my glove. Glows amazing. I will show you just one. I guess while it's here, I gotta find them. I can't see. I'll show you the one of the other two. And here is the normal one, right, with the C3. I'm gonna move the hand so you can see we do have a Kit Kat marker at the 12 for orientation, and look at the 3, 6, and 9 lume, because those are eaten a little bit by the subdials, but it just works so well. And of course, the bezel glows well, being ceramic and lumed. And that's going to do it for our little intro into the Islander Bethpage Amerigraph. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. I'll put a little link to purchase somewhere around here. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, your feedback, input, anything else, you can put it down below, and I will address it if I can, as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.